Is Kunal Sodi. I am the Assistant Professor of MA Rangunwala Institute of Hotel Management and Research, Pune. So today I am going to take you through a topic called alcohol and its process, and we will be learning how fermentation and distillation of each alcohol is done. Okay, so let's go through the process of alcohol process. The contents what we will be learning under this uh, video is introduction, fermentation, distillation, and methods of distillation. Now, first, what is alcohol? What is alcohol? It is a volatile mobile fluid. What does volatile mean? It means that any liquid can be evaporated easily in room temperature or normal temperature, okay, which is obtained by fermenting a liquid containing sugar. That means the alcohol is obtained by fermenting, any fermentation. That means you are adding yeast and sugar into the uh, liquid. The yeast react to the sugar and that becomes into a alcohol. That means that converts into fermentation process, the strength of which can be further increased by distillation. So once you finish the fermentation and later you go to distillation, the alcohol strength increases and it's converted into spirits. Okay, once you finish your distillation process, it's converted into spirits. So the name is derived from the Arabic word called alcohol. There are two types of alcohol. One is ethyl alcohol, that is ethanol. One is methyl alcohol, that is methanol. Now, ethyl alcohol is sensibly consumed. That means you can consume the alcohol. It is not harmful for the for your body, and it is a beneficial alcohol. Methyl alcohol, that is methanol, is made from wood. It is a poisonous and used for industrial purpose as a solvent or fuel only. Okay, you can't use it for your consumable use. You have to use it only for industrial purpose, or you can use it for your as a solvent. You can use it for a fuel. You can use it as a thing, so like your kerosene and petrol and all that is a methanol. Now, classification of alcohol. How is alcohol classified? It is classified from any alcohol you get is through fermentation. Okay, first process of obtaining alcohol is through fermentation. Now, further is it is divided into distillation and fermented liquid. Now, if you stop your liquid till fermentation only, then it is either called wine or beer, depending on what ingredient is used for making that liquid. If it is used from grapes you get wine. From barley, it is beer. Okay. Further to this, if you go ahead and start distilling your liquid, then it is converted into spirits and liquor. Spirits are your whiskey, vodka, rum, tequila, gin. All the spirits are called, the alcohol percentage of same will be around 40 to 42% alcohol by volume. And liqueurs are flavored liqueurs. It can be any flavor like halwa, sambuca. All these are liqueurs which can be again 40 to 42 degrees, 40 to 42 percentage of alcohol by percentage by volume. Okay, and it can be made from spirits. Base liquor will be spirit as well. So it can be made from either vodka, whiskey. Okay, all this can be made, liquors are made from these spirits. What is fermentation? It is a process where the yeast reacts on sugar. Okay, it is a process where the yeast reacts on sugar and converts sugar into alcohol and carbon dioxide. So yeast, when you add yeast into your liquid, and if the liquid is containing any sugar into the liquid, like your sugarcane juice, you have your wine, grapes. Okay, when you're making a grape wine, you don't have to add extra sugar into your juice, because Wine is for grapes. The liquid is already containing sugar in the liquid, because the grapes already has sugar in it. So that when you add yeast into it, yeast reacts to the sugar, and that converts into sugar into alcohol and carbon dioxide. So that's how you get your wine. Okay, any fermented liquid you get fire when you add yeast into your sugar, and yeast into your liquid, and which has a sugar in it, and that converts sugar into alcohol and carbon dioxide. So the formula is this: yeast plus sugar, which reacts and gets alcohol and carbon dioxide. If the liquid is not protected from air, it can convert into vinegar. So that's how you get your vinegar also, that you have to cover your the liquid. You can't leave it air open, otherwise it converts into vinegar. Now let's see what is distillation. It is a process of separating alcohol from the unwanted liquid by application of heat. So you must have, if you are a science student, you must, or in school days also, you would have learnt what is distillation. It is a process where the application of heat to the liquid is given. So you separate alcohol from unwanted liquid by application of heat. Now how does that happen? I will show in the further video. Now alcohol, that is called warmth. Warmth is nothing but the hot liquid with your any grains. Okay, hot water with any grains, it's called warmth, plus heat. Heat should be of 78 degrees Celsius, gives you vapors plus condensation is equal to spirit. Okay, so when you heat your alcohol, that is your warmth, and converts in when the heat, the liquid gives vapors, water vapors, that water vapor is converted into condensation, and that liquid what comes out is on spirit. Now, there are two methods of making distillation okay, in a alcohol process. One is pot still method, one is patent still method. Now, pot still method is also called as onion shape method, and second one, patent still method, is also called continuous method, or it is called coffee still method. Now, pot still method, what are the characteristics of pot still method? It is a slow temperature distillation. You can't keep it this distillation on a high temperature. It has to be in on very slow temperature. Okay, the process of this method is very slow. It's not very fast. Okay, it takes a very long time to do the distillation. The aroma and the character are very high. That means, since it is a very slow temperature method, the characters of the and the aroma of the liquid is absorbed very nicely, okay, into the liquid. So when you keep it inside for a long time, the aroma and the character builds up very quickly. It is like a shape like a big onion. Okay, it looks like a big onion. The pot still look like an onion shape. It has two main parts, that is still and condenser. Still is made up of copper. The good it is a good conductor of heat and does not react to any acids. Okay, it is time consuming process. Final spirit is rich in quality and flavor. Yes, since it is a very slow temperature distillation, it is very obvious that it is a time consuming process, but the final spirit is very rich in flavor. Requires cleaning and refilling after each distillation. You can't keep it the previous one, you can't leave it just like that and make a new distillation process. You have to clean it once you finish the one batch. The second batch you have to make new, fresh, new. It should not be old used one. Now, how does it work? The fermented liquid is placed in the still. So once you make your fermented liquid, that is, you put your yeast and sugar into the liquid, it reacts, it converts into alcohol. That's a fermentation process is over. Now that fermented liquid is placed in the still, that is in the pot still. It converts, turn the direct flame of 78 degrees Celsius. You have to turn the flame into 78 degrees Celsius of this liquid. The alcohol vapor rises. Okay, the alcoholic vapor rises. Once you leave your liquid to 78 degrees Celsius, the vapor rises. It's led through the warm condenser into condenser. Now you have three parts in this. Once you get your condenser, one this first part is called as head or the four shots, toxic and unpalatable. Second one is heart, that is 80% alcohol, and third is weak, or it's called as tails in alcohol. The first part, hearts, is a toxic and unpalatable. It's not recommended to be used as consumable because it's very harsh and it's very hard to drink. You can't drink that alcohol. The second part is the best part of the alcohol, that is 80%. It has 80% of alcohol. It can be used for your consumable use. You can use it to consume. The third one is very weak part. Okay, it's very weak. So the third part is very weak. So you can it has all the impurities. Okay. So what you do, the first one has to be removed from the batch. You can't use it at all to consume. So you that part is gone. The second one is the best part, you keep it aside, and the third part is again sent back for the same process again. So again the liquid is turned into 78% degrees Celsius, then the vapor rises, then out of that you get head, hearts and tails. So the third one can be sent back for redistillation. Now, once you get your hearts, that is the second part, it is channeled into spirit receiver. You have a channel called as spirit receiver, and that spirit is turned into the maturing cask. Once you receive it from the spirit receiver, it has to be changed into the maturing cask. That is your wooden cask. Okay, and the redistillation and redefined, the alcoholic strength is reduced by 63% by adding of ionized water. So you put your ionized water into the liquid, you did from 80 degrees, 80% of alcohol, it is reduced to 63%. Okay. Now, once the spirit is gone for the maturing cask, it is now ready for resting, maturing, blending, and reducing the strength and color and enhancement. Okay, it is stored only in porous wood containers. There has to be porous in the container. If you see this video now, if you see this picture on front of you, there is a two main parts. The left one is called a pot, and the right one is called as condenser, and the below one is called as maturing cask. Now the pot, if you see, it has to be heated at 78 degrees Celsius. The liquid is getting heated and the vapor is rising. Once the vapor rises, you can see on the red, through that pipe, the red line, the pipe is coming down to the condenser, and once it is very hot, it's getting cool and turns into yellow. That yellow part is the condensation, and it is coming out through a spirit receiver and getting into maturing cask. So it is a single process. From you have to put it in pot, it comes from the neck of the pot and comes down to the condenser. It cools down, converts into condensation, and then used in the maturing cask. Now, second part is called as the patent still method. Now, patent still method, it came into existence when it was in 1831. It was being introduced by the Dublin excise officer Ennis Coffee, so it was hence called as coffee still. Okay, coffee still or a continuous still. Why it is called as continuous still? Unlike pot still, this still can be used again and again without washing and cleaning, and again restoring. You can use this n number of times without cleaning. So this is how a pot still, continuous still looks. Now, what are the characteristics of this distillation? It has two main columns, that is analyzer and rectifier. The role of the analyzer is to separate the parts in the wash. Okay, means it has to separate the parts in the wash, means heads, heart and tails, it is done automatically. The role of the rectifier is to enhance the character of spirit and also condense the alcoholic vapors. Now the role of the rectifier has to, means it has to enhance the character of the spirit, that means it has to get the heavy bodied or light bodied spirit and also condense the water alcoholic vapors. Each column has chambers, that means there are plates in between the chambers. Chambers are divided into perforated plates. There is a drip pipe that runs through these chambers, and the fermented liquid of the wash enters at the top of the rectifier. Now let's see what it is. The rectifier is heated with steam. If you see from the right hand side, if you see the number 1 on the right hand side, that is the spirit. Okay, and the spirit, you put the blue line if you see in the pipe, and that is the that is the fermented liquid. The rectifier is heated with steam. First the right side is the rectifier, and a, where a is written, it is a analyzer, and b is rectifier. So the first the rectifier has been heated with steam. The wash, the cold wash, that is your fermented liquid, is passed through the drip pipe, its temperature increases. So you see that in the one number you can see that there are liquid which is being going down towards the pipe. Now that once the liquid keeps coming down through that drip pipe, the temperature increases. Okay, slowly the temperature increases. By the time it reaches the bottom of the rectifier, it is the boiling point. So when you see on the top, it is very cool, it is very cold wash, the cold liquid. Once it comes down slowly, when it comes down at the bottom of the rectifier, it becomes into boiling point. When the wash reaches the boiling, reaches the bottom, it is pumped into the another column called as analyzer. If you see, this drip pipe is going towards that up, and it is going into the analyzer, column called as analyzer. The analyzer too has chambers that are divided into perforated plates. If you see the A column, that is the analyzer, if you see, there are perforated plates. There are plates which has holes in it. Okay, the hot wash enters into this analyzer from the top and passes through the different chambers. If you see that there is a different perforated plates there, and when you put the wash through these plates, the liquid is passing through these perforated plates. Okay, now while the hot wash is being channeled through downwards from the bottom of the analyzer, there is a hot steam gush of hot steam is injected through the analyzer from the bottom. If you see that gray color of A column has, it has steam being gushed from the bottom, and from top the liquid is coming down. So it is a two-way process. Okay, the vapor rise upward, and the spent wash goes to the bottom of the column. So here the gushed steam is going on top, and the liquid is coming down from top. The spent wash is removed from the still at this stage. Okay, the spent wash is removed from the still, and the alcohol vapor which is passed through the different chambers reach at the top of the analyzer. So whatever the steam has been infused into the chamber, it reaches on top of the analyzer. From here, it is channeled into another pipe to the bottom of the rectifier. If you see one more blue line on this thing which is being connected to the rectifier, from top the steam is going and then coming down different pipe and going towards the rectifier. So that is being channeled to another pipe which goes to the bottom of the rectifier. These hot vapors pass through the perforated plates. As the fumes goes up, it is met by the drip pipe which is carrying the cold wash. So if you see that blue in the rectifier, there is a blue background which has, that is full of water vapor, alcoholic vapor, and the drip pipe is having that cold wash which is coming from the one where one is written, the cold wash is coming, but outside the whole steam is there. It has fumes which is been made through the drip pipe. Due to the sudden change in the temperature, the partial condensation of hot vapor takes place. The vapor keeps getting cooler and the wash keeps getting hotter on its way to the analyzer. So the vapor keeps getting cooler, and at the same time the drip pipe, what liquid it has, it's getting hotter, and the in the on its way to analyzer. So the both way it is hot and cold things inside. When the vapor has reached two-thirds of its way up, it reaches to the cold spiral plate and condenses completely. So if you see on the number 7, there is a spiral plate which has been placed on the analyzer, rectifier, and it has a spiral plate. It is when the vapor reaches two-thirds of the rectifier, the vapor condenses completely because of the spiral plate. Okay, now the first part of the liquid, that is the hearts, that is collected in the spirit receiver, sent back for distillation. Okay, that is the heads. The pure spirit which follows subsequently is collected. This pure liquid is reduced in strength by deionized water. I said the strength of the alcohol will be very high, like 70 degrees Celsius, 70% or 80%. It has to be reduced to 60-65%. That is done by adding of deionized water. Some of the spirits that use in patent still are vodka, gin, and rum. Okay, so was the video about the alcohol and its distillation and fermentation process. So I hope you like the video and you got some information regarding the topic. So please do like our channel and subscribe, and please click on the bell button. Thank you very much.